Yeah. All right, hello everybody. I just wanted to explain the Solar Cities IBC / Hugelkultur septic alternative that we've done. We have the RV here where Chief Arva Looking Horse and Paula Hornham's daughter is going to come stay in a couple of weeks, and we wanted to prepare a way to deal with the fecal and urine and gray water, black water residuals or effluent that comes out. So we've got a 3-inch pipe coming out of both the gray water system in the kitchen and the toilets in the back, and flowing downhill and into an IBC tank with the Solar Cities IBC tank biodigester. We have put an opening here, so we're not using a 90-degree elbow, we're not using 45s, we're using this vented pipe that has a gentle curve to 90, so it actually is 45 and 45, so the poop can slide in better. If you use a 90, it'll tend to bang into that wall and then clog up, and then you have a mess. We're not gluing any of these together. We're putting this pipe in here because the water level is always going to be higher, but it is spilling into the tank, which will always be overfull, and then this is a little bit lower over here where the effluent will then spill out and go into a Hugelkultur. So we've got about 8 inches, no, it's actually 11 inches, isn't it? Got about 11, almost a foot underneath where the pipe has these holes with logs. So there's logs underneath and then mulch and branches which will absorb the effluent as it spills out. The holes, by the way, are facing, actually this needs to be turned a bit. The holes are facing to the side so that they don't get clogged, and I do see that now this got turned a little bit, so let me see if I can, I can't do it, can I? Yes, I can. Well, that should be okay. We have some holes on either side, and we've put these PVC sections as shrouds to cover some of the holes so they don't get clogged up. So we have enough of them that are covered that we're pretty confident that we will get a good spill once we fill this in, because we're going to cover this with logs and branches and mulch and make what's known as a Hugelkultur. Hugel means hill in German, and a Hugelkultur is a permaculture practice from Austria from Dr. Sepp Holzer, and it's to grow gardens in a way where you irrigate the garden, the wood and the mulch saturates with the water and then slowly releases it to the roots, and you have a lot of surface area in that hill or hugel. Our idea at Solar Cities with our PCGS students was, what if we were to put the perforated pipe that usually goes into a leach field filled with gravel or filled with inert plastic material, and use wood as our surface area rather than gravel, which then clogs up over time and has to be dug out and washed and put back in, big expense. If we put this perf pipe through the logs and the branches and the mulch, as it saturates, it'll wick the water, the wastewater, away from groundwater, so it's not going to go down. Even though the sand is plenty deep, the water table is at least 7 feet down, so that's plenty of sand column for sand filtration, but we don't even want to bother with that. We want to wick that wastewater up and have those nutrients saturate the wood, and then we want to plant on top of the Hugelkultur. We want to plant some shrubs and some leafy material, and then those roots will go down and grab those nutrients and help break down the mulch into soil, and then when it seems like it's clogging, we'll come back and remove that soil, put it in wheelbarrows, go use it in the garden because it'll be great soil, and then just put more deadfall in and start the process again. And we've been running one for our RV for about 4 years now, haven't had to change anything yet, but we might get to that point soon. So we don't know yet how long this lasts before it has to be serviced, but the servicing's really easy because it's just that stuff there, just wooden branches and mulch. So all waste materials, and we're creating soil out of what is sand, because Florida is just sand, and this has no nutrient value at all. So we're adding nutrients using human occupation to better the land. The more people make a contribution, the more they pee and the more they poop and the more they wash their dishes and use soap and use detergent, which has phosphates in it, the better off we all are. Did they just die? Okay. Thank you.